Okay, let's just read through it. It says solve the second equation for x squared. And again, this is the way I saw how to do the problem. Your mileage may vary. You may decide to do something else. If I do that, what do you get? You get x squared equals, let's be very careful now, it's going to be 1 minus y squared plus 4y. All right? Now, let's just make sure we met that milestone that they asked us to meet, this right over here, 1 minus y squared plus 4y. Then what we have to do is we need to eliminate the x squared term from the other equation. And let's write that down. I'm going to do the right side first. I'll point out what I mean. I'm going to do this over here. And what do you get there? You would get 19 minus x squared, which would be minus 1 plus y squared minus 4y. That's the minus x squared, by the way, minus 3y. What do you get there? You get 18. And let's see what you get there. Let's see. You would get y squared minus 7y. All right? Now, do they have that down? They do, but it's kind of like in a funny way. But I'm going to rewrite what they wrote. The 18 looks like they factored out a minus 1, and then we get 7y minus y squared. And I see that right here. So we met this milestone. Put a highlight on it, and I get my eraser out, and I'm kind of comfortable with that. And let's do the other thing, all right? And let me start to erase, the past here. I got enough written down that I can do this. All right, let's do the next thing up, which is what's under the radicand. Well, it's 2x squared. Well, what's x squared? X squared is 1 minus y squared plus 4y, plus 6y now. This is under the radicand, and then plus 10. And what do you get there? Well, 2 minus 2y squared plus 8y plus 6y plus 10. Well, that's going to be minus 2y squared plus 14y plus 10. I'm going to factor out a minus 2. Let me see. No, I'm going to factor out a 2. And what do you get over there? 7y. Because I want to match their answer. 7y, right? 7 times 2y minus y squared. I'm sorry, that's plus 12. Sorry about that. Plus 12. All right. I noticed there's an error in the key. I'm going to correct it. You will not see this error, by the way. Plus. All right. So then I'm going to recheck it, though, because, I always say, oh, it's an error, and when in fact there's no error at all. I'm going to go through that again to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. All right. So I just replaced in the radicand x squared, which is 1 minus y squared plus 4y. 2 minus 2y squared. I'm just checking. 8y, 6y, plus 10. Well, 2 and 10 is 12. Minus 2y squared plus 14y. And then I definitely see plus 12, by the way, again and again and again. And I'm going to factor out a 2. You would get 7y minus y squared plus 12. I did it twice, checked it twice, so I need to correct this error here. Let me highlight it for you, and that will be corrected. All right? So then I got to go on. It's probably more errors in the problem then. By the way, you may wonder why that error occurred. It's not because of my work, because my work led to the correct answer. I must have just simply copied from my notes incorrectly, and that's one thing I just really discovered there. Let me get my eraser out. Erase this business over here. I'll erase this. I'll erase this. And what I want to do is, I'm following my work here. That's all I'm doing. And you should do that too. I said let u equal this over here. So I see another error now. I put this over here. So if I did that, what do you get? Well, you get the root of 2u plus 12 equals 18 minus u. And I know why they did that. They did that to make it a little bit easier for me to handle the problem. But again, this is a substitution you're making. Square both sides, you get 2u plus 12. Well, let's see, 18 squared. I got to do that. Well, that's 180. Let's see, because 10 times 18 is 180. 80 and 64. So it's going to be 260, 324. Minus 36u plus u squared. And I'm going to use the zero product rule on that. So it's going to be u squared. We'll check the key in a moment. Let's see, minus 38u plus 312. Is that in the key? By the way, this error needs to be corrected. Let's see if I got the key right. Well, I copied that from my paper correctly. And by the way, my paperwork looks exactly like what it looks in the notes. All right, that's what it looks like on a piece of paper. And then I have to type it up. And you should learn to type too. All right, next thing I would do is the zero product rule. Let me get my eraser out. I'll make those corrections. You're not going to see those errors in your notes, unless you have an old copy of the notes. Let me erase this. Don't need this anymore. Don't need that. I met that goal. Let's move to the next one. And although difficult, it does factor. And what I mean by that, it factors into nice integer numbers. So what do I know about this thing? I know U could be 12, or the U could be 26. Well, things are getting substantially easier. But here's the deal. You want to go back up here and plug it in. And they're quadratics, all right? So I'm going to say, I'll leave it to you to try that. If U is 12, you'd plug it in here, you'd solve for Y, and I hope you get these two numbers over here. And now what you need to do is you need to go back to figure out what the X is in the problem. And it's trouble. There is. I'll be honest what the trouble is. You know, one thing you get radicals, things like that, but we'll talk about that later. I would probably use this equation to figure out what X is. So in other words, I would take the 3, plug it in. It's going to give me two different X's. So nice numbers too, 2 or minus 2. I'd plug the 4 in. That's for the Y. And it would give me two separate X's. And why is that? It's X squared. So you expect to see plus or minus in it. All right? And then the other one is 26. Far more difficult to do. It's going to yield complex solutions over here. So I would say, maybe check it out. But you know what? I got 4 points of intersection I'm hoping to see. So let's see if we got it. All right? So someone says this is a really bizarre looking graph. And what we're doing is graphing this out over here. Right? Both of them. And I want to see if you see those 4 points of intersection. And these are points that are easy to plot. What are those points going to be? Well, 2, 3. I'm going to point out this point over here is 2, 3. I'm just scrolling back on my notes, by the way. Minus 2, 3. Well, nice symmetry there, right? Minus 2, 3. Yep, looks good to me. And then 1, 4. This is 1, 4. Right, I got that one down. And the other one is going to be minus 1, 4. And that's right over here. Okay. It's fine. All right, with those couple of errors that I made, which are correct, you're not going to see those. Things are working well. I didn't do every step, though. The key is you need to do those steps. You need to practice that. All right? And by the way, I did do the steps prior. I certainly did a lot of work to get through that problem. Want to remind you who I am. I'm Ron Bannon. My email address is Bannon, B as in boy, the @ symbol, NNON.US. Thank you.